Arsenal Football Club, eh? What a momentous victory that is for Arsenal away at the King Power against Brendan Rodgers, the Oracle's Leicester. That really is a massive victory. Arsenal up to 5th in the league. They have beaten Leicester 2-0. I am here at the kickoff. We are going to be live for the Manchester United-Tottenham game. Make sure that you are tuned in to the True Geordies Twitch channel for that. It is going to be exceptional. But for now, we must just acknowledge the brilliance of Arsenal Football Club. That is their best away performance of the season, off the back of their best home performance of the season last week. When they beat Aston Villa, they walloped them 3-1. I was very impressed. I thought that was almost a statement victory. We've been expecting it from Arsenal. You know, there have been moments where we think that they're going to spring into life. When they beat Tottenham, when they walloped Tottenham at the Emirates, I thought they were going to use that result as a catalyst. And it didn't quite happen. They got very lucky at Brighton, and they were a Rizzler paper away from defeat against Vieira's Palace. At that moment, you think, I wonder if they can find any form, but we must acknowledge what they have achieved today. They rode their luck at times. I thought Aaron Ramsdale, man of the match. We're going to come on to speak about him later. But if anybody should be worried about Aaron Ramsdale, I'll tell you who it is. It's Jordan Pickford. More on that later, as the Arsenal fans were chanting from that away, and you could hear it passionately on the telly. England's number one. But what a performance from Arsenal. Gabriel set them on their way after 5 minutes. A brilliant header. And this is where we have to credit Mikel Arteta. People have often been saying that there is a project, there is a vision, there is a long-term plan with Arteta. And it is starting to come to fruition now. Arsenal are unbeaten for ages. And you can see the workings on the training ground coming into match situations. And that's what you need. They've clearly been working on set pieces. They've clearly been working on corners. And you can just see how it is all coming to fruition at the perfect time. They looked so strong. They were so positive, particularly in that first half. And Leicester didn't really know what had hit them. Arsenal went 1 up, but they didn't stop there. They were relentless. They kept knocking on the door, and then Smith-Rowe, bang, 2-0. Leicester tried, they changed their players, they changed their formation. Arsenal, I was about to say Arsenal coped. They did cope, because obviously they've won the game 2-0, but they coped because of the brilliance of their goalkeeper. No, so it's fair to say they coped. Arsenal coped, but Leicester were getting through. Jamie Vardy was pulling the strings. Jamie Vardy was brilliant today. He became a sort of provider. There was one moment where he provided via a back heel, and Aaron Ramsdale to the rescue. Harvey Barnes went through. Aaron Ramsdale to the rescue. According to Peter Schmeichel, listen to the praise here. Peter Schmeichel, one of the best goalkeepers to have ever graced the game. Peter Schmeichel said that the Aaron Ramsdale save from a James Maddison free kick was the best save that he's seen in recent years. Huge statement. But remember who's in the opposite goal. So that coming from Peter Schmeichel when his son is in the opposition goal, it shows you what it means. But it really is happening. And Aaron Ramsdale was signed by Arteta. This is the Arteta model. Fans weren't happy when Arteta signed Aaron Ramsdale, but it is proving that these definitive actions from the manager is having a significant impact on the pitch. He has brought in players. He signed a lot of players. He spent a lot of money, but they were all young. They were all, I think the oldest was about 22 years old. And you can see how it is starting to work. This Arteta model is starting to work. And I have to praise the Arsenal fans that were patient. That's not all of you, but the Arsenal fans that were patient, you get praise here. And you've got to acknowledge the contribution from the board. The easiest thing to have done, cast your minds back to December of last year. About a year ago, 12 months, 13 months ago. Burnley beat Arsenal at the Emirates. And I thought that I went to bed that night around Christmas time. And when I woke up, I assumed that Mikel Arteta would be sacked. He wasn't. The board deserve credit. When you persevere with a manager, if it pans out, you deserve credit. This is the fine margins that it's all decided upon. And it is panning out. It is working. Arsenal are now 2 months since their last defeat. They haven't lost since Manchester City beat them. And that was in the first 3 games of the season. Remember, they lost the first 3 games. And I said at the time, the season starts now. Brentford, they lost the first game. Perfect storm. We can understand why. Everything about that. First game in the new stadium. First time Brentford have played in the top flight for 75 years. You totally understand why Arsenal found that game difficult. Then they played the European champions. Chelsea beat them. Then they played the Premier League champions. You understand why they lost the 3 games. Then their season started. And they went to Norwich and they won. They played Burnley. They went to Burnley, they played Norwich, and then they beat Tottenham. And you think, right, that's going to be it. But the fact that they haven't lost since that time, the philosophy and the perseverance really is starting to pay off. And they were worthy winners today. I've actually heard Brendan Rodgers moaning about one of the corners. He thought that the game should have been stopped because one of his players was down, and apparently the game was stopped in the second half when an Arsenal player was down, and he's moaning about the consistency. But this is Rodgers for me. This is moaning for the sake of moaning. Rodgers should just hold his hands up. He got it wrong. Arteta got the better of him. His team was second best all day long. That's the crux of it. Arsenal deserve nothing but praise. Arsenal deserve nothing but... we have to take our hats off. They were brilliant. Leicester tried. They rallied. They came back. They changed their shape. They changed their personnel. But Ramsdale was inspired, and there was just no way back. And you've got to think now, 7 games unbeaten in the Premier League, and they're now 5th. They're 5th for a couple of hours anyway. But we've got to give them the props, right? We've got to give them the props. And Arsenal haven't got a particularly good record at Leicester, you know. That's the first time Arsenal have won 3 consecutive matches at Leicester since 1925. So Arteta is starting something. And it does feel to me that there is something going on there. Aaron Ramsdale in goal, it's inspired. Because not only is he doing everything that you want a goalkeeper to do, which is basically save every shot that is fired at him. He has saved 24 of the 28 shots that have been on target that he's faced. 28 shots he has faced that have been on target, 24 have been saved. Only Edouard Mendy has a better saving ratio. That makes him England's #1 for me. I know it's early. He's played, 8 games in the league, 9 games in the league. But we have to do it on form. And the way that Pickford's playing, Pickford's conceded 5 last week to Watford. We have to acknowledge it. Aaron Ramsdale is currently England's best goalkeeper, so Gareth Southgate has a decision to make. And we must remember that Qatar is round the corner. This defence that they've got, Ben White in front, that's another significant thing with regard to England. Ben White in front played brilliantly. Tommy Yasu, combative, up for it. The partnership with Gabriel, also on the score sheet. There is something significant happening here for Arsenal. And when you think about what they did last week, beating Villa in the way that they did, slightly worrying, man. It's slightly worrying. They're up to 5th. I think a long time ago, say before the season started, nobody thought Arsenal would be around 5th at this stage of the season. You know, we're what now? A quarter of the way into the season. European football is starting to be... The way that the table looks now is starting to take shape as to how it will look in May. Arsenal are in the conversation for European football. They're actually in the conversation for the Champions League. A massive result, going to Leicester, away from home at Leicester. Brendan Rodgers, the Oracle. Mikel Arteta, light work. We must celebrate Arsenal here. When I say celebrate, I mean, I'm a little bit gutted, but you know what I mean. We've got to give them their props. So, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Arsenal fans will be loving it. And the day belonged to Aaron Ramsdale. He threw his boots in. He found a kid in the stand who had a he had his kid in the stands who was dressed fully in his kit. So he gave him his boots and his kit. Aaron Ramsdale basically has nothing but shorts on. But Aaron Ramsdale is the cheerleader for Arsenal. He's the passion merchant. He is the man who is adoring his time there, riling up the fans, getting the team all singing off the same hymn sheet. And Arsenal are a serious force. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. And I will see you all for the Man United Tottenham game. It's going to be fantastic. Make sure you're watching the kickoff. See you there.